Hey Kaiju fans, Fuzzy Owl here. I'm going to be doing a quicker than the last video I recorded about this and didn't upload, discussion about the S.H.MonsterArts figures that they released at Tokyo Comic Con like last week, but I'm super excited about them. Alright, so a quick kind of like overall bullet point. Sorry the video is a little bit darker. I didn't feel like resetting up my lights again. A kind of quick overlaying blanket statement about all these MonsterArts figures. S.H.MonsterArts, the company that made them, they look fantastic. If these are even remotely close to what the final designs are going to look like, I'm super excited. We're going to keep this kind of shorter to a bulletin list. So they do keep true to their designs for the most part. That being said, let's talk about the most controversial, Mothra. If you look at Mothra, she does have very similar coloring to her design from like Mothra vs. Godzilla, except there's not so much white in there. But if you look at the rest of her body shape, it does look a little bit more like a hornet or something like a little bit more aggressive. I am personally okay with this decision. She does have the pinchers. She looks like she could do some damage and a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, I can understand why people would want kind of like the more cute moth-looking version of Mothra, but I just, in this MonsterVerse, I don't really see that kind of fitting the tone. I am okay with it, and especially given the clip that was released, which I'll show right now. You can hear Mothra, and she does sound reminiscent of the original Mothra. She doesn't sound like a huge beast. Just they took the most liberties with this design, which I am personally okay with. The longer legs, I'm okay with that. The aggressive pinchers, the smaller eyes, I'm okay with it as long as she is true to the character from the originals. Moving on, we'll go to the G-Man himself. A couple of notable changes. Speaking of legs, in Godzilla 2014, he had some big, thick old weight-bearing gams, and I was personally okay with it. His toes were a little bit tiny, so it did look like elephant trunks. It was understandable, giving a monster of that mass. He would need some thick stems to hold him up. They did shrink him down and tone him up a little bit in this, and they gave his claws a little bit of a size increase as well, reminiscing more of the 1954 Godzilla. Speaking of the 1954 Godzilla, they did change. I would say the next notable change is his spines, his spikes. In the 2014 version, they are rather pointy, and this one they are more true to the maple leaf shape from the 1954 Gojira. They didn't do much to his face, which I'm cool with. I love his face. His tail is not so pointy. It is a little bit more rounded at the end, reminiscent of the original. Not much to say about Godzilla. He looks a little bit thicker, a little bit like he's put on some muscle, kind of cut up in the second one. So that's Godzilla. I think his design is fantastic. I really like the direction they're going with it. I want that statue that the director is standing next to. Moving on, we are going to do the best for last. That being said, we're going to talk about Rodan first. Now, I do love Rodan. I'm super, super excited about him. I think that he is probably the most classic looking besides maybe his posture. If you look at his face, he has the beak. He's got the two little horns. His eyes look angry. He looks aggressive. He looks like a true monster. Unlike how we've learned to love Godzilla, Rodan looks like it's going to take a little bit more learning to maybe love him if he does decide to side with Godzilla and Mothra, as he does in Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. So, my favorite feature, probably my favorite feature on almost every one of the monsters, is his skin. He looks like he's made out of molten lava. He does come out of that volcano in Mexico, and it looks like that kind of crusted onto his body. Maybe he's even made of it. He thought it was cool, stuck with it. I'm very excited to see how he moves, how he reacts, because we've got glimpses of it in the trailer. Oh, he's going to be amazing. We did get a clip of him, which I'll show. Super quick. It's just him flying over Mexico City. You can guarantee those people are roasted after that clip because of what we've seen him do in the original Godzilla trailer that came out earlier this summer. Yeah, Rodan. Whew. I hope they keep the coloring too, that kind of like reddish, purplish, or maybe more maroon with the molten effect. Ugh, that looks so good. I'm glad they decided against the feathery. I saw concept art of him looking feathery. No bueno. I like this. Good on you guys. And last but not least, Ghidorah. So I'm going to show his clip. King Ghidorah being my absolute favorite, besides the G-Man himself. Oh, that clip is so cool. I really do like how he moves, but it kind of teases more how I want him to move. I don't really know if that makes sense, but in this, he's kind of just pouncing, and he looks like he's leaping right into battle. I like his movement. but I'm excited to see how his heads are going to interact with each other, because it has been said that each head is played by a different actor and they're going to have a bit of a different personality. So I'm very much looking forward to that. On to his S.H.MonsterArts figure. I don't care how much this thing is going to be. I want this figure. I want it on my desk. I want one from my car. I don't know why. It looks so good. And his design, if it is even close to this in the film, then they have done a fantastic job. A quick criticism. I'm going to get this criticism out of the way because it's very nitpicky. His chest is big. His waist tightens up. And then his legs might look a little bit too thin. So again, I did say I'm a fan of kind of like the elephant trunks. Not that I want him to look like he has elephant trunks. But if you ever look at like a Komodo dragon, they kind of got some loose skin and they got some weight shifting around on their legs. And they don't look quite so muscular, but you know that they are. I kind of wish they would have taken that, like split the difference. Like between what we're seeing in the toy and the 2014, what Godzilla's legs look like, split the difference. And I kind of hope that they use those legs for Ghidorah. Super small nitpick. I guarantee everyone's going to be like, Fuzzy, what the hell are you talking about? That's just a nitpick. So basically widen up his waist, thicken up his legs a little bit. All right, so his color. In the pictures we're looking at here, it does look like there's a little bit of a hint of green, which I'm okay with if that's the case. I do think that is just kind of how the light is reacting to it within the venue that they're in, but I think he's going to be solid gold. I hope that there is a little bit of differentiation between, maybe his front and his back. But moving on to his face, I do like how that there is a distinction between his brow and his snout. It makes it look like he can snarl, like he's angry. I think that's going to add more expression to his faces, because as we've said, his heads are going to kind of interact with each other, the middle being the most dominant and strongest and level-headed, no pun intended, and then the other two kind of a little dumber, maybe more brutish. And I think it's going to be an interesting dynamic. As far as his design, his wings, they're enormous. They look great, like they could support a monster of this size, because he is a flying creature. Maybe widen up his feet a little bit, but I'm glad they did not give him arms. That's one of the most important things. He's got 2 other heads. They could take care of it. Overall, I think these monsters look fantastic. I'm really glad that they went with a more traditional Toho style to these creatures and these kaiju, and I'm glad that they didn't deviate too much. There's an argument there for Mothra, but I do like her design. I think it's going to fit the Monsterverse just well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. How much do you think these things are going to cost? Will any of you buy one for me? And also, let me know, because I guess tomorrow we should be getting the trailer. That's trailer 2. Let me know what you guys think. Is it going to be more of a everything we've already seen, or is it going to kind of be like way too much, or is it going to be just right? Because I'm hoping it's, like most things, just right. I don't want them to show a whole nother movie, but I don't want them to show the same exact trailer. I'm torn. I want to see Ghidorah more, but I also want to experience that in the movie. Let me know what you guys think. Like and subscribe if you haven't. I really like doing these videos about Godzilla. Godzilla is something I grew up with. I might actually even review all the old Toho movies and everything, because I'm going through and rewatching all of those as an adult. I haven't in years. Like I said, like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. I'll see you next time.